Hello everyone! It's winter! Welcome to the Wondrous Winter Book Tag, made by me. Let's set the mood a little bit, as if the mood isn't already set enough. We're gonna get some holiday spruce, courtesy of Target. Yeah man, don't make me look a fool on my own video. I do that enough on my own. Here we go. Ooh. We love cheap serotonin. For those of you who don't know, I am making a book tag for every single season. So I already made an autumn one called Awesome Autumn Book Tag. And if you missed that, you can do it next year. And now you can do this one. I'm gonna get so annoying with these. Winter is my favorite season and Christmas is my favorite holiday. However, I understand that not everyone celebrates Christmas. A lot of people do, but not everyone does. So I tried to balance this tag as much as I could, geared towards winter and not like Christmas. This tag is based on movies, so there are about 7 or so that are Christmassy, and then the rest of the 15 of them are winter, not specifically Christmas, but like wintry, snow-esque, themed. However, even though some of the questions are based around movies that involve Christmas, the questions themselves do not involve Christmas at all. So if you're someone who doesn't celebrate Christmas, you will easily be able to answer these questions. I hope you feel comfortable in doing so, and if not, that's fair too. As was with my autumn tag, this tag consists of 10 questions and 5 bonus questions. And so the intention for these bonus questions is if you want to answer them all, go for it. Go off, overachiever, go you. But if you just want to answer the first 10, that's fine too. Or if one of the first 10 questions doesn't apply to you, you don't like it, you're having trouble answering it, you can exchange them. A little switcheroo. Also, please ignore this bookshelf. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. You're gonna look at it. She's not done, okay? She's not done. She's a little unkept right now. Because I had to move all my stuff from my dad's to my mom's, it's all just like a conglomeration of chaos in here right now. So this is the only place to film. This is the only place to do it. Just don't look at her. So the first question is based off of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I heard he had a shiny nose.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
Choose a book you looked down upon until you realized what a fool you were. What a fool. For this one, I picked Perks of Being a Wallflower. My friend recommended this book to me when I was in high school, and I was like, seems a little hipster. Seems a little not like other girls. I was quickly put in my place. It goes over and covers a lot of really dark topics in a very authentic way, and while also giving some humor to the situation, which is just my taste. Perks of Being a Wallflower is also a fantastic movie. It hits me every time. I cannot get out of that movie without crying. The next movie is a personal favorite, Frozen. Frozen 2 is so good.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just find clothes restricting. Bet you're wondering who we are and why we're here.
Anyways, choose a book with your favorite sibling relationship. I love sibling relationships in books. I think they are very underrated and not done enough. Some of my favorite sibling relationships have to come from Percy Jackson. They're so wholesome. All the characters are so wholesome. You can't help but fall in love with them immediately. Nico and Bianca, and then Percy and Tyson. Honestly, it's been quite a while since I've interacted with these characters. I read this book series in middle school, but I just remember just feeling just warm. They just make you feel warm. So great. I would love to see a brother and sister relationship where they're older, because I have an older brother and I feel like I would just really relate to that. I don't think brother sister ones are done enough. I feel like I always think of brother ones. I guess because writers think it's easier to have them pull shenanigans maybe, but I have an older brother and let me tell you that's not the case. The next movie is Frosty the SnowMan.
Come on, Frosty. We're all waiting for you.
What book did you experience coming to life in your head for the very first time? For this one, I chose Junie Jones. These were stories that my mama, I remember, would read to me a lot before bedtime. And I just have a lot of very positive memories associated with them. It's the first moment I feel like I really experienced the characters coming to life in my head without pictures. Like without it being a picture book. And I loved these books so much that there's a specific book where she gives herself a haircut, and my mom told me that I literally, after reading that book, I like chopped my hair off. Junie Jones is also who I blame all of my spelling issues on as a child. And even now, like I'm a terrible speller. It's so embarrassing. Next up is Cool Runnings.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah,
I can't get my helmet on. Oh, thanks, Coach.
that's what I'm here for.
Choose a book where the characters are in competition. So for this one, I chose Scythe because the two main characters are in competition with one another to become a scythe, and basically whichever one loses, so stakes are high, but then they start to like each other. Sounds right up my alley. However, this book and book series focused a little too much on plot for me and not enough on character. Like the plot and the ideas are fascinating, but I was never in love with the characters, and that's a huge deal breaker for me. I'm very character centered. So I have not finished this series, but I did finish book 1 and I did enjoy it. I just don't really see myself finishing it. Next up is Home Alone. Choose a book that you read that had no fandom and you felt like you were home alone. This is the worst feeling ever. I didn't even know like book fandoms existed. I didn't know that book Twitter existed, booktube, nothing. I didn't understand fandom until high school. I didn't discover booktube till college. I felt gypped. I was like, I am upset. So for this one, I picked True Believer by Nicholas Sparks. In high school, I inhaled Nicholas Sparks novels. I loved them. They were my drug. And because, you know, a 13-year-old isn't in contact with many middle-aged women outside of their family, I didn't have anyone to talk to about this. So I just, you know, was by myself. I was just by myself, gobbling these up like nobody's business. Respect a writer for knowing what they're good at, but I feel like every single story is the same, just with different, like a different setting, different names. So yeah, what's really funny about this copy is like you can see the shine on it. This is a copy that I accidentally kept and I guess essentially stole from my library. I think it's because I rented it out so many times that I guess I just forgot, because I found this in my dad's house when I was moving stuff over, and I was like, oh no. I checked it out December 6th, 2011. That's what the library card says. Like, what do I do with it? Do I return it? I know you haven't seen me in 47 years, but here's your book. Like, they've probably replaced it by now. I don't know. Morally, I should probably return it. But I'm lazy, so we'll see. Next up is Happy Feet. Choose a book whose title was so misleading you now have trust issues. For this one, I pick Looking for Alaska. Despite the fact that I do love this book, I love this book. Looking for Alaska? I thought we were literally looking for Alaska. And then it turns out Alaska is a person. And I was like, oh, we're gonna have some like inner, like the main character's gonna be a girl and she's gonna be like finding herself, looking for herself. No. You're literally going to be looking for Alaska. Looking for her for the rest of your life because no one knows what happened. It's one of those books with an open-ended ending, and I was very moved, upset, and just, I had every emotion after reading this book. I think we could have workshopped this title a bit more. Next up is Elf.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Choose a book character who you think is a cotton-headed ninny muggin. For this one, I must pick Henry from Red, White, and Royal Blue. What a cotton-headed ninny muggin. I love intelligent people who are dumb. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're smart, but like the most obvious of things just whoosh, and you're like, you're so smart. How are you not? What's going on? This is one of those books, unfortunately, that I love so much and so deeply that my mentally ill brain refuses to finish because I think that once it's over, I won't have those feelings of happiness anymore. She needs a therapist. But yeah, so I have like this much left. This is such a beautiful novel. I can't wait for Casey's next book to come out. Up next is Chronicles of Narnia. And choose a character who's as self-sacrificing as Aslan. How could I not choose Rhys from the ACOTAR series? This man would he's begging to die. He literally is. Like, something happens and they're like, oh, we're in so much danger. Like, someone must risk themselves. Me. Dude, can you please relax? Stop trying to die. Sit down. You've suffered enough, baby. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. I have to take a food break because I feel like I have no energy anymore. Hot. Up next is The Last Holiday.
The cost of a median cranial debulking surgery is around $340,000. That's without anesthesia. You'll want that. Choose a book that made you feel like you were going to die.
For this one, I choose The Fault in Our Stars. When I read this book in high school, I thought the world was ending. I thought it was over for me. That's it. Toss me in the casket. Just, it's over. It's so crazy to me how so much emotion can fit into something this big. I read this book and I sobbed, and it was so overwhelming. And I loved the movie. I thought the movie was fantastic. Very well done. I actually took my dad to go see the movie when it came out. And when he saw the movie poster, he was like, oh, like, she's gonna die. And I was like, it was fun to see him freak out. Up next is The Happiest Season, which is the new movie with Kristen Stewart. It's on Hulu. I loved it.
So her parents believe their straight daughter brought home her lesbian friend for Christmas?
Not exactly. They also think that I'm straight.
Have they ever met a lesbian?
I know a lot of people have very conflicting feelings about this movie, but I loved it. Choose a book with your favorite sapphic couple. So I was thinking over all of the LGBTQ content that I've consumed book-wise, and I was very sad when I realized I have not taken in any sapphic content, with the exception of The Beast, which has a scene with Aurora and Isabel. That one's good. That's the book I have to choose because I loved it, but it wasn't a relationship surrounded around that. All of the queer women characters that I have in my head didn't actually end up with a woman. So recommend me some sapphic, please, and thank you. Only happy sapphic. I'm not looking to cry. Okay? Okay. On to bonus questions. Bonus question A. Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
Grandma, watch out!
You can say there's no.
Then the Spankenheimers learned Grandma was missing.
Choose a book that you'd like to run over with a reindeer multiple times. For this one, I have to pick a book that I recently found in the clusters of my adolescence. Preparing for Adolescence. This book is traumatizing. In 6th grade, they made us buy and read this. And if you don't know what this book is, it's essentially telling you all of the changes your body goes through as you enter into being a teenager. It does touch on emotional stuff, but the bodily stuff, wow. This book is specifically horrifying to me because at the time, the instructions from the teacher was to have our parents read this book to us, which adds a whole other level of severe discomfort. Like, please kill me now. But mine was worse because my mom was busy. But good for us, my mama was in town. So guess who got to read me the male anatomy section? My southern mama. I literally have a specific memory. We're like laying on the bed and she's like this, she's like, oh my. And I'm like, you know what? If someone who's been married for like 50 years is going, oh my, and there were even sometimes she was like, I didn't know this. If she doesn't know it, then I don't need to know it. In 6th grade, I don't need to know it. Some things should stay mysterious. Up next is Rent.
Today for you, tomorrow for me.
Choose a book that makes you want to sing. And for this one, I pick Crescent City because I want to sing about how much I want to read this book, but my brain and heart won't let me do it. I want to read this so bad. I want to read this, it makes me sad. I have such yearning and longing for this book, and I own it, and I want to read it. It's just like every time I try, my brain's like, we can't handle this high fantasy in 2020. We just can't. We don't have the mental space for it. I'm just like, Up next is The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Oh. That's it, I'm not going.
Choose a book that made you lose your faith in humanity. For this one, I have to choose Cape May. I didn't so much lose faith in humanity, then I lost faith, the little grain of salt faith that I had in men. Any that I had left just plummeted immediately. The remaining little crumbs, morsels, is only hanging on by a thread because of Harry Styles. So do with that what you will. The ending of this book is horrific. I burn with rage. I guess if I was going for more of the humanity angle, I should pick someone like President Snow, who's just so demonic. Throw the whole man away. Up next is Ice Age. Choose a book that turned you into Scrat with his acorn. Obsessive to the point of concern. Scrat was crazy. He was one of my favorite parts of Ice Age. Him and Sid. So funny. This I choose Maximum Ride, although the author is apparently problematic now. Can people just like be nice and good people? I don't understand. Anyway, I don't really know the full story. All I know is that he's a little sus. I think he was like taking away platforms from like POC authors or something. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Reason that I choose this is because when I was going through all of my stuff from my dad's that held all of my like boxes of memories and stuff from middle school and high school, I literally have drawings, like unfinished drawings of Fang everywhere and all over my binders and stuff. It says Max plus Fang, Fang 5 ever. That obsession was embarrassing. Couldn't keep them all. I kept a couple just because I thought they were really funny, but it's like doodles and drawings and their names are all over my stuff. I'm just like, wow, you really had a problem, didn't you? Our last question is for Anastasia.
I'm a wreck! Actually, considering how long you've been dead, you look pretty good.
Choose a book or even a specific scene from a book. That would be fun if you have a specific scene in mind that gives you Once Upon a December vibes.
Someone holds me safe and warm. Horses prance through a silver storm. Figures dancing gracefully across my memory.
For this, I choose Cinder because the whole Once Upon a December song is really about Anastasia discovering and realizing all these new things about herself that she never knew. And Cinder really goes on that journey and starts realizing all these different things about herself and what she's really made of, what she can do, her strengths, and like what it means to be alive and part cyborg. And it's just so good. I love this series. I want to reread this so bad. I was literally last night as I was going over my list once more because I knew I was filming today, I was like, reread the Lunar Chronicles? We don't have time for that. Soon though, I will reread this. And it makes me so happy, like seeing this like worn copy. I used to carry this around with me. Just like before, if you do this tag, please tag me so that I can see your stuff and share it and watch it or read it, whatever you decide to do with it. You can make a video, you can do a blog post, you can do an Instagram post, you can do an Insta story. Whatever you want to do is fine. Adapt it in whatever way works best for you. I'm so excited. If you're watching this right now, consider yourself tagged. Thank you for watching the Wondrous Winter book tag. I love you guys. Bye.